Hello again. The thumbnail to this video shows a recruitment poster for informers. Specifically, the people who run the Newcastle football ground want people to sign up to spy on those sitting near them and report what they say to the authorities. And no, I realise this sounds utterly bizarre, but I'm not making it up. Let me read out what the advertisement says that was openly on display at the Newcastle football ground on February the 13th, 11 days ago. After some preliminary information about a delay to the start of the match, we read the following. We are also looking for stewards who are in the younger age bracket to work some plainclothes operations. We sit you in the crowd to monitor language and behaviour of people sitting in seats about which we have had complaints. You will be paid normal steward rates and you will have to provide a detailed report of what you witness, which may lead to you giving evidence in court if any prosecutions arise from the operation. You must have good communication skills in speech and written. Yuck! I'd never heard anything so distasteful in my life. To monitor language, what on earth does that mean? I mean, I'm shocked to think that perhaps crowds at football matches might swear or say offensive things. Yeah, I suppose that is possible. But why would you need paid informers to listen to them and report them? This sounds like the sort of thing which was seen behind the Iron Curtain during the Cold War, when communist countries in Eastern Europe would recruit people to spy on their neighbours and report anti-government jokes and so on. People in the younger age bracket, I suppose that means that they're looking for junior members of the Stasi. There has always been historical distaste in this country for people who inform on their neighbours for trifling matters. I'm not talking about a kind of snitches get stitches mentality where nobody will ever tell the police anything, but the British tradition was not to go looking for people doing wrong, which is what Newcastle's football ground are doing here. Obviously, if I heard a child being abused or a woman being mistreated, I would contact the police. But I don't see it as part of my civic duties to go snooping around in hunt of people breaking the law. That's more properly the job of the police. Here's another example of this tendency which I noticed quite recently. I belong to a group called Next Door Loughton, which is supposed to be an online group for neighbours to make connections and keep in touch. I have noticed lately that an awful lot of the messages posted on there are from people who seem to have taken it upon themselves to act as informers and unpaid police spies. Here's an instance of what I mean. This message was posted on the group the day before yesterday. Beneath a photograph of a moving car was this. Be aware, this guy drives around Waltham Abbey and very suspiciously comes into our road a few times a day with absolutely no purpose. He looks around and most of the neighbours notice him too, but nobody seems to know who he is or what he is after. I've recently spotted him several times around the local schools as well. Does anyone recognise him? So a driver appears fairly often in somebody's street and somebody doesn't know who he is. This is disturbing. One reply to that message suggested contacting the police. The day before that, another person shared a photograph of a car parked near a zebra crossing with its hazard lights on and nobody in the vehicle, and asked what she should do. I mean, I get as irritated as anybody else when I see parked cars getting in the way, but I have never felt the need to photograph them and take their registration numbers. I mean, if I had a job as a traffic warden, I might do that, but not as an ordinary private citizen. I think perhaps that the lockdown started this current wave of people wishing to report their neighbours for leaving the house too often or having their friends round for dinner. Those who chose to follow a lot of silly rules became infuriated with others who took a more relaxed view of things and felt that it was their patriotic duty to ring the police and report them. Some police forces set up dedicated numbers for people to ring for that kind of thing, and of course the government encouraged it during the lockdowns. Perhaps some people enjoyed being spies like that so much that they want to carry on doing it even though the COVID crisis has come to an end. There's always been a great tradition in Britain of minding your own business and letting others get on with their lives. Most of us used to have a sort of dislike of neighbours who were always peering behind the curtains and seeing what other people were up to. When I was growing up, the sort of busybody who would report his neighbour for not having a dog licence or for watering his garden when there was a hosepipe ban was regarded with contempt. I think we need a bit more of that attitude before this business spreads. Imagine a football club recruiting paid informers. I've never heard anything like it in my life.